the other person could have, let's say, a red mark or a scratch.
Hey, good afternoon. This is David Kohlmeier, the problem solver. Thank you so much for joining me today. Every single week, I am bringing on other problem solvers just like myself to basically help solve problems in the community. I interview different people. I also help people throughout the week, every single day, 24/7. I'm on my phone answering problems, referring them to the right resource, whether it's a realtor, a mortgage agent, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's the police. I mean, whoever it may be. You wouldn't believe my phone is ringing 24/7. So I'm glad that you guys are here today. Every single week, again, bringing on amazing, great people, sharing their stories, how they're helping people in the community locally, even through nationwide. Again, we also have a progressive web app, which is theproblemsolver.vegas. And on there, you could basically click some of the tabs to basically get information. There's useful information, resources. If someone's homeless, needs a place to stay, working with United Way 211. Las Vegas Legal Network, the legal referral network that we work with. So again, the app itself is amazing. So please add it to your home screen. Again, that's theproblemsolver.vegas. And again, every Thursday at 4:30, we're going live, and we appreciate you joining the show. Today, I have an amazing person to my left. We have Mary Grace Yniguez, who basically is with Social Register Network. And I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on The Problem Solver.
So that sounded really great. You're my new. You're going to be my new commercial on TV. 3 a.m.
I can.
Welcome to The Problem Solver. So the reason why, to me, it's important to have you basically come on today specifically is that you run this great network. A lot of people don't even know about it. There's also been some changes since you've actually taken over the network itself, and I want you to share, local people that are business owners, why it's so important. So let's just jump in and basically tell me, what is Social Register?
So Social Register Network is a premier business networking organization, platform, and community. So we are exclusively for industry leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, and influencers. So anyone across the board that's a professional or C-level executive. And we bring them together to create meaningful connections, build that quality network. But really, we're wanting to build a community where we are connecting, collaborating, and supporting one another.
What I love about it is that it is relationship-based and community-based. And I think these days, you see a billboard or you see something like online, there's no relationship, it's just basically a business, you don't even know the person. It's kind of like going back in time a little bit. That's where it was at, like relationship, networking, meeting people, bonding, and I love the community aspect because you get to meet people. And then when you start going to other events, if you're social, right, Social Register Network, you get to network with other people and it's social. And a lot of people want to get out, especially with what's been going on with COVID and everything like that. People kind of stuck in their homes like in a cave.
Yeah.
So, especially get to come out in general. So tell me, how long has Social Register Network been out?
So Social Register Network previously used to be Social Register of Las Vegas, and it's been in business for 27 years.
It's amazing. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had the privilege of working for the previous CEO for 10 years, and we were just here in Vegas. And then my husband and I purchased the business right before the pandemic. And during the pandemic, we went nationwide. So Vegas actually became a chapter instead. And then we have a chapter in DC, and we're opening one in Orange County, and so many others that we're opening in the next year.
It's amazing. 27 years is a long time. Imagine that we went back in time to see the first Social Register of Las Vegas. It was of Las Vegas.
Of Las Vegas.
It would be amazing. 27 years ago has been a long time. I'm here 20 years in February. So, it's probably been through all kinds of different places and locations that have come and go as well. But I think the relationship is the key with the network in general. What made you decide, you were with the company for 10 years. You were like the assistant, right?
I was the COO.
COO. Mm-hmm. Got it. Chief Operating Officer.
Yes.
And then basically you decided, the other person kind of retired, you decided to take over the operation, right?
Yeah, so we purchased the business. She was looking actually for a buyer for the business, and nothing ever really aligned because she wanted to make sure that the legacy would continue on, obviously. And one day I woke up and I was like, okay, well, let's buy it. I talked to my husband, obviously. It wasn't that, that quick.
You got a supervisor too. My wife is my supervisor, so you got a husband there. There you go.
And he was like, okay, well, if you want to do it and it's something you want to do and we can do it, let's do it. And so we offered a bid on the organization, and then we purchased it.
You know, the truth, I mean, 27 years is a long period of time. You were involved for the last 10 years. I mean, who better to kind of take over that operation? Even if you put something on the kind of the open market, you don't know who's going to take over. So I agree.
Yeah.
The legacy is very important. I mean, 27 years and you want it to continue, which is amazing, you know?
Yeah, it was her baby. So she wanted to make sure it was in the right hands when she left it.
Got it. You know, I remember, I already forgot because it's been a long time. I remember you being at one of the events, but I remember a few years ago, a mutual friend, we did the dinner. It was a dinner, which is interesting because it was at the convention center on the, what was it, Barry's Steakhouse?
I was there, yeah.
You were there? But I think they took down the hotel, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they took it down because of the whole convention center thing. Actually, that was a nice dinner. There was the Michael Jackson lookalike that's there. I actually became friendly with him. I've spoken to him since that dinner. I thought the dinner was nice. I actually met a person back in the day, was part of Leadership Henderson. You know, she was a local realtor. I really felt the dinner was nice, and I enjoyed it in general. And I did enjoy the events. I went to the one where basically it was a brand new home, a model home.
At Toll Brothers.
I think it was about 2 years ago, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I remember there was a metal bar, like it was a model home. I hit myself getting into the place because I'm walking collateral. But it was a beautiful event. There was food that was there. It was catered, you know, like a really nice event. So I like that you guys are always doing something different at different places. How does that work with the events? Like, how do you pick different spots? How do you make these events? Because you have a lot of events going on, even though you mentioned me, hey, you need to come. There's so many events going on, which is great. Just because I got the 3 kids, so it's been a little more difficult this week to get out. But there's so many events. So if you want to be social, you want to get out, you want to build relationships and bring in business and create business. I mean, you have so many different events. So being a member, I think, is really important. How do you make these events? Like, how does that work?
So it really comes down to a networking personality. So we have obviously mapped that out in regards to some people like to network with over 100 people. They feel comfortable doing that. Some people like to network one-on-one, and some people like the intimate dinners. So that's why we have the different kind of events to meet different personalities. But really, I've been doing it for 10 years and really just listening to our members and finding out what they enjoy and then creating different events to match what is going on now, the trending. So right now we actually do virtual speed networking, which allows for members to network nationwide. So we have members from Chicago, from DC and Florida, all coming on every 2 weeks to network with people in Vegas and Orange County.
Okay.
So that was one of the things that we launched during the pandemic, and that's how we were able to continue
The
forward.
virtual networking.
Yes.
I haven't been on there, and I've actually scheduled. I was just looking at I wanted to look up the dates here because I know we have social register networking events here at the Sticky Paw Studio, and I wanted to invite people, and I wanted to put out the dates a little bit. But you made things virtual because of the pandemic. How many people normally go on the virtual networking event? It's kind of like speed dating.
Yeah.
It's speed networking.
I cap it at 14 or 16 people to allow for 6 to 7 minutes for each person to meet each person at the event because we only go for an hour.
How does that work, though? Is it one-on-one, or is it that you just speak to the 14 people?
It's one-on-one. So we've created breakout rooms, and then you go into a room for 5 to 6 minutes, and then after that, we move you to the next room.
I need to start doing that. I feel bad. I literally have it on my calendar. It's actually, we're going into the new year, but I had it set up, and I'd never made it, and it's horrible. I'm a
And it's
horrible
every
person.
2 weeks. It's one in...
You should suspend my account for being a bad social register network participant. All right, so the bottom line is, so you have online stuff, especially if you're worried about COVID. I know a lot of people with COVID, they want to still be home. So I think you have to maintain that for a while now, right?
We're not... That's not going away.
Okay, I like
because
that.
of the nationwide.
Because of the nationwide, I like that point too. It's funny, sometimes when you talk about it, you realize how important it is because now you have people that are in you're opening up in different places like DC and Orange County. So now you're meeting different people.
Yes.
And a lot of people in Vegas, right, they're coming and going to California or even DC or business people. So it pays to probably network with those people, plus they're part of the community.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like these referral programs that are out there, like BNI or Tip that's out there, even though it's different. I think people, when you create that community, they want to share and they have relationships. So I think that everyone's like, you know what, let me keep it within the social register network. Like, why would I want to send it to BNI or Tip if I'm not part of a separate meeting? So social register becomes that component for your business.
Yeah, it's a community. So once you build those relationships with people you know, and people who are on the same journey as you, and people who are maybe 2-3 steps ahead of you, you build a community of a way that you can connect and collaborate in so many different ways, but also offer support to one another.
So community is important to you basically because you're bringing people together, collaborating, building relationships, and bringing in business together, growing together.
Well, life is hard. Life is hard personally and professionally, and community is so much needed personally and professionally.
Good point.
Because it can be a lonely space, personally and professionally. Entrepreneurship is mainly, all alone. And so having a community that you can lean on for advice, to bounce ideas on, bounce ideas to each other. Also, if there's days when you wake up and you're like, what am I doing? I
say that every day. Where am I?
What am I doing? Is this all worth it? Whatnot? And then you have a community that, they knock on your door or they text you and they're like, girl, this is how it is. And this is why you're doing it. They remind you of your impact and your mission.
I think it's great. So we're having a holiday party here at Sticky Paws Studio for basically the Problem Solver and Sticky Paws. If there's, that people want to come out, we're doing the ugly sweater holiday party. So we're inviting all these people to come out. And it's kind of the same thing. Actually, Sticky Paws at the studio kind of is a community as well of having different podcast people that are sharing and educating the public and creating relationships and building upon their network. So we're inviting holiday people. So I appreciate you. I know you're sending out an email. I said, how many people did that party invitation go to? How many people did you say?
Over 2,000.
So if you're part of a business and you want to network and you're a member and you're basically emailing 2,000 people, I mean, even if 10 people show, 20 people, that's 10, 20 people that probably I wouldn't normally have. At the event. So, I mean, I think the key is to leverage. I think sometimes in life you have to leverage different things, right? So you're leveraging a bank sometimes to buy a home. You're leveraging social register in a positive way to basically, build relationships, to bring in clients, and to meet good people as well. So I think it's important. And I think that's what builds that community.
And it's really about leveraging others for visibility and exposure. So now I tap into your network, you tap into my network. That's what it's all about.
You mentioned when you wanted to buy the social register, you were involved in it for 10 years. Like, what made you decide that you want to buy it? Like, what was deep down in your gut? Like, what was the reason why?
I think because I love community and I already had a vision as to where I can see social register going. I wanted to make sure I was the one who was going to implement that. And that's why I did it. I was like, I can do this. I love community. I love bringing people together. I was already doing it. And I saw the vision of expanding nationwide.
So what is your vision? I mentioned, I did a little Facebook post before I came in here saying, Mary Grace is taking over the world, taking nationwide. Social register network is going to be in every city. Stand by, get ready. You should send it a link right now. Join today. I think it's an awesome thing, to have a little map and every location that you're at. I think it's great. So what is your vision to basically create this community nationwide?
Yeah. My vision is to bring business owners and entrepreneurs together no matter where you are. And eventually we'll have some massive events throughout the year where you guys can come together in person. There's so many opportunities outside of our community, but also we can share with the world. There's opportunities here in Vegas that we can bring here. And so that's my mission.
It makes me nervous, taking over so much territory. Maybe the problem solver has to be in every single, we need a problem solver in every state.
We can.
Problem solver New York, problem solver Las Vegas, problem solver Los Angeles. Yeah. Kind of like that.
And what's wonderful about that is, you mentioned that. That is an opportunity. Wherever I go, the members go.
It's opportunity for your members, which have businesses, to build relationships and to bring in business and to network with, find other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do believe at the event that you have very good people that are there. They're very mindful and business and community and friendly, and they're good people.
Yeah, it's people who really want to give back and create those meaningful connections and build a quality network for themselves.
What kind of value would you say that Social Register Network provides business owners specifically? Like, what's the top 3 values, would you say?
The connection, the visibility, and the community aspect, which is the community/support.
Okay. And who would you say Social Register Network basically serves when we talk about the community and also solving problems like I'm trying to basically do on a daily basis? Who does it serve? How is it helping the community in general, in your eyes?
It serves, to me, at heart, small business.
Okay.
Small business and entrepreneurs. Banding together to create this community and helping each other, but also give them opportunities to things that are larger than ourselves when we band together. So
by banding together small business owners, you could probably create greater things. And if you're a small business, how else would you do that? How do you become that big business unless you you grow your network, right?
Yeah,
And you
and-
grow your community of people that also could influence and their sphere of influence to bring in business, right?
Exactly.
You know, one thing to share with you is kind of an interesting twist. So I've been here 20 years, and even though I was a police officer for 17 years, I was very entrepreneurial. And when I came out here, I also got involved. Actually, I met a guy when I was a cop who got into an accident, and he was driving a beautiful Mercedes. It was up in Dragon Ridge in Henderson. I'm like, what do you? I used to always ask people, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living, right?
You should have been that guy on TikTok. There's a guy who does that.
I know. You mean the lawyer? Which one?
There's a guy who does that, who asks people who drive
but-
nice cars.
drive- what do you do to
for a
basically get
living?
the money? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was the cop asking people, like, what do you do for a living? Mm-hmm. But, you know, and I was asking because I was like, maybe I should be doing something else, right? Maybe I should be doing something on the side. Or if someone's like, one person I met once, they own a bunch of McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I just started
cool.
asking questions, like, and you kind of learn from different people, right? This particular guy was doing mortgages, and I kind of hooked up with him later on, and then I got involved in mortgages and real estate, started doing some real estate investing. But if it wasn't for me as a cop meeting that guy, you know, I probably wouldn't be involved in real estate as much. So sometimes you meet certain people at certain times, but it's a way of you growing, you know, in general.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to share with you was eventually people talk about like BNI and LATIP and these other groups, and then you have different people in the group. And I've always wanted to be involved. I've always wanted to succeed with those groups. The problem is they only allow one person, right? The one mortgage agent, the one realtor. I mean, there's no reason for a cop to be part of BNI meeting. But, you know, there's always one of each, right? And the problem is you never could get in. If I was trying to do real estate, I couldn't get into a group. And then they would say, you have to start your own group. I'm like, oh my God, now I got to start my own group. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm lucky I'm showing up every Tuesday morning at 7:30 in the morning and making it on time.
Yeah.
And not getting pulled over and getting a ticket and getting arrested.
Yeah.
It was difficult because the realtor and the mortgage agent was always taken.
Yeah.
And then you have to go to some group up in the Northwest or the Northeast and so on. So what's great about the social register network, I think, is that it doesn't matter. There could be 20 realtors. I mean, you don't have to like network with them or be friend, pal, you know, you have to talk with them so much. You can invest time in other places, but at least everybody can go and you build relationships as you go. Because I can't go to a BNI meeting because everybody basically is a realtor. You know what I'm saying? And then I started looking into LATIP, and it's the same situation. So you're lucky if you can get into one of those groups because they all work as like a sales force. So it's a different model.
Yeah.
You know? But what's great about Social Register Network that anybody can join, right? There's no limitation, right?
Yeah. No, there is no limitation because what
Except the ex-cops. They can't join.
No, you can't join anymore. The beauty of it is that you are not... So those groups, I love those groups. They're great for other certain industries, right? Okay. But the thing is, if you meet a realtor and you meet one realtor today and you meet another one tomorrow, you may relate more to the one tomorrow, not the one you met today. So the reason why we have, I think our real estate numbers are like 400 realtors in our directory is because you're going to relate to maybe 4 of them. 5 of them. You're not going to relate to all 5 of them. You're not going to 500 of them. You're not going to want to build a relationship with all of them. So I believe in creating a meaningful connection, building a relationship so that you build a like and trust factor. And then when you're sending introductions, it's a warm introduction. It's not required. Like I'm just not sending you introductions and I don't even know who you are. I only know what you do.
Here's a good question for you. So I'm always trying to solve problems in network. Off the top of your head, what people, it could be a lawyer or a doctor, who is in your group that actually could help people in the community? If you had to name like a few people, name some of your members that you feel almost giving them a shout out that they actually, a little bit different, because I'm doing things more of a nonprofit way, right? Like I got a phone call before, like from my public relations person says, someone's homeless and, you know, what should I do? I stop with them, they need help. And I said, call 211, United Way. They'll let you know where to go and stuff like that. Or, you know, for a nonprofit component or someone gets an accident, injury, arrested, or evictions, who do you have in your group that helps people where it's not just about business?
I have several people. So I have the Legal Network, which is one of our corporate members out here in Las Vegas. And so we tap into that network all the time. Anytime someone is in trouble for whatever the reason is, we tap into that. But then I have several members who outside of their business, that's what they want to do. They want to support the community
And help.
Yes. And I believe that the way we market and the verbiage that we use and the way that we position ourselves as leaders in Social Register Network, it attracts the same kind of people, the people who want to give back to the community. So when you ask me to name a few, there's hundreds of them because we attract those kind of people.
If you're a local business, and you mentioned the legal network, I know that they wanted to expand the Las Vegas legal network. What, I guess my question is, what are the next chapters, and how does that look for someone like the Las Vegas legal network, for them to go into other states with your chapters? How would that work for a small local business or like the legal network? How does that work when you start going to other chapters? How does that play out? They become a corporate sponsor? How does that work?
So we have different levels of membership. So if you're just wanting to network strictly in your community, we have a membership for that. But then we have a membership that will help you network nationwide. And it'll enable you, just like Las Vegas Legal Network, if they wanted to host an event in DC because they're trying to tap into that network, we could go and fly there and he can host an event. And we'll just contact our chapter president or our director out there, and then you would host the event out there. So we have different levels in regards to what are your business needs. Are you looking to expand out here? I always tell our members, don't close it off just because you think you are just niched down to our community, because sometimes it's not about the sale. It's not about that. It's about the visibility and building relationships with people outside of our community. We could learn so much from other people outside of here too.
Where are your next chapters? So you said Washington, D.C. is set up right now?
Yep. D.C. opened up in July. Orange County, California, we're opening in February. And then we're looking at Sacramento, San Diego, Seattle, Nashville is on the list, and a couple of places in Texas for this year.
So Orange County,
California.
In February, right?
Yes.
And San Diego when?
I'm hoping in Q2.
Okay. Orange County, San Diego. And you're basically, even though there's a what do you call it, a chapter president, right?
Yeah.
You basically overseeing the entire nationwide operation of the networks, right? Of the social register network.
Myself and my headquarter team, so I have an events manager and then a operations manager and then my husband, we oversee the entire network. And then we have a chapter president here in Las Vegas, which is Dan Morrell, and he handles all of Vegas business networking events.
Okay.
And then in DC, I actually have a couple of chapter directors who have come together to build that community. And then Orange County is actually my husband and I were the ones spearheading that.
Okay.
And the same with San Diego. So when it gets further, like Nashville, we actually have someone else who's going to run that for us because there's no way that we can be traveling every day.
All those places?
Yeah.
Okay. So Orange County is next, and then San Diego. I like that. I'm just kind of creative idea thinking in my head here. Problem solvers going to Orange County and San Diego.
And Sacramento. I have someone who wants us to try it out there, so I'm looking to do a pop-up mixer in January.
When you pick a different location like Orange County, San Diego, like what would be like? You're saying Sacramento, like maybe it would work out, it wouldn't. Like why would you think that? Because every community would want to have a community, a social registered network. But is it certain like geographics or demographics? What's your thoughts about that? Like, do you think it may not work in certain areas like New York?
Oh, no. New York's on our list.
Got it.
Yeah, that's one of my husband's main cities that he chose. The reason why we're very selective is because a lot of people think that they need it there, but then there's not a influx of business owners there because the networking is for business owners. It's not just for anybody. So one of my strategies is to do pop-up mixers in different cities where members have, members who have joined say, hey, I would love to have one out here. I love what you're doing in Vegas and DC.
Okay.
Bring it out here. And so that's how we try it out. But Orange County was always like one of the main cities that we wanted to
So I wanted to ask you what events coming up, which is the big thing. I just looked at my calendar. So March 17th, technically March 17th in June and September, I know that myself, the problem solver, basically will be doing an event for Social Register. Excuse me as I cough. And then basically we're going to do like an event here, which we've done one event before, which I actually really do like how it played out, where we basically had different members come on for every, for 15 minutes. Yeah. It was 10 minutes and basically talk to them. It was kind of like a marathon, a little bit of Social Register Network members. I think I'll give them an opportunity. Then the video basically goes live. I thought it was really cool.
They loved it.
They really enjoyed it. I think it was a cool experience. I think here at Sticky Buzz Studio, I think it gives a really good experience. People I laughed because I actually had Chris Henderson from the Richard Harris Law Firm was on the show, I think 2 weeks ago. And he's kind of a quieter guy. And he was taking some pictures of the studio and at the end. And we did it. And I felt it went really well. And I think I do a pretty decent job with interviewing people. And then when he left, he was kind of quiet. And the next day, he's like, it was great. I watched the video. We went back and forth. It was a great conversation, And he liked it. He's like, I want to do it again. So it's kind of funny. So I guess here, myself and Chase, the amazing good-looking engineer that's here, for somehow we're making experiences for people on the Problem Solver Show. And it's great to get information and learn about people as well. So besides the events, March 17th here, then June and September for the Problem Solver at Sticky Plus Studio, we'll invite people. So just a heads up for anyone that's listening, we'll get the dates out. What else do you have coming up specifically that you want to tell people or invite people to?
Yeah, so in Vegas, we always have a networking mixer every single month. In all of our chapters, we always have a networking mixer. So our chapter president handles all of our business events, but it has allowed, since I've freed up some time, since he's taken over that, it has allowed me to create some community events and some really fun and social events for our members to tap into. So actually next Sunday, we have a event for the community. No admission. It is to benefit 3 Square. So we're asking for a suggested donation of canned goods. December 19th, it is called Jingle Alleyway. And it's for the kids, bring the family. It's at Vegas Test Kitchen. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but basically the owner purchased this space and she features different chefs every day. So you can
Is it
order
every day?
Every day.
And every day, I think I passed by, I was a little bit confused. So every day there's a different chef that's cooking.
Yeah,
It's on Fremont, right?
It's like 4 to 5 different chefs.
Every day.
Yeah. And sometimes it'll be there for 3 days or for 5 days.
I always thought I'm pretty friendly with, I met with Tingle Labs, and they do I always feel like it's almost like a secret kitchen at one of the places. And actually, he's going to probably help me with the event for Thursday at the holiday ugly sweater event here at Sticky Plus Studio. But I always thought it was like similar in general, but it must be different. So they have a few different chefs cooking food. You pay for it, but it's different foods.
Yeah.
Every day, different people?
Yeah.
I don't know, every day.
Usually it's every day. But the concept is these are award-winning chefs. These are chefs that were featured on Top Chef, Iron Chef, and they are able to put up their menus, and they're raising capital to launch their own restaurants. So
Awesome.
We're having our event there featuring, I think, 7 chefs. We're going to have Santa there, live music, hot cocoa, cocktails.
What day is this?
It is December 19th,
Okay.
12 o'clock to 4 p.m.
What day is December 19th? Saturday?
It's a Sunday.
A Sunday? Okay, great. I got the flyer as well, and I want to put it down on my schedule. Okay, so December 19th, 12 to 4 Sunday, basically to come out for a great event. And what is it? You just pay for food?
Yep, just pay for your food and your drinks.
So if someone's not a social register member, can they still come to that event?
They could come to that event. It is a community event.
Oh, by the way, so how much does it normally cost? You don't have to talk about pricing, but I mean, okay, so let's put it this way. So if someone wants to attend a local network event, it normally does cost money.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you're a non-member,
Non-member.
you can attend twice, and it's about $40 to $50. It changes.
So twice you can go free?
You can attend twice as a non-member, whether you pay or not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you can come twice as a non-member, you can pay, but after 2 times, you'd have to become a member.
Yeah, it's only fair to our members who are paying for a membership.
Got it. Good point. I didn't really know the whole gist of that part. But if I'm a member and I want to bring someone as a guest, it's the same thing. Is it?
Same thing. Your guests can attend twice as a non-member, and then after that, they must become a member.
Okay, great. So the bottom line is you got to become a member.
Yeah.
Right?
To get access to all the benefits and all of the events.
Well, I really appreciate your time coming on the show today. Basically, the bottom line is that you're helping businesses, increase their business, increase their influence in general, and to basically make a difference, in their future, bringing in income and growing and succeeding. So I think it's awesome because everybody can come. There's no excuse. You have different events, whether it's online or in person. And if you want to increase your business, I mean, they need to call you and sign up or come twice and feel it out, and sometimes I feel you may need to do a few different events because if you went to the December 19th event, that's different than
That's not included.
Yeah.
So those are community events.
So community events are different. So if you're going to do the events, you got to go the
business
major
events.
business events,
Yeah.
and probably even do if you're able to do a virtual networking.
Yep. Well, the virtual networking, you can pop in anytime and just pay a fee. But the ones that you want to take advantage at our in-person events, we have the mixer, and then there's a workshop, and then there's dinners that you can try. So choose 2 and try it out.
Got it. Great. So again, Mary Grace Yniguez, Social Register Network. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll get this out there. We're going to get people to the event December 19th. People are going to be invited for March 17th over here at Sticky Plus Studio. If someone needs to get in touch with you, I know we're going to have a little information on the screen, but what's your main number for them to call? What's the website to go to if they want to sign up for going to 2 events or becoming a member? Where they have to go?
Yeah, just go to socialregister.com.
Okay.
And our phone number is very easy. It's 844-SRN4-BIZ.
Awesome. So anyway, we'll have you on the next show, and if not, hopefully we see you Thursday for the problem solver, ugly sweater, holiday mix and mingle and podcast 2 this coming Thursday. So again, thanks for coming on the show. I'm David Kohlmeier, the problem solver. Every single week, I'm basically bringing amazing people like Mary Grace on the show, educating people of what's going on in the community, different events, different things to get involved in the community. There's so many things that are going on, even like these toy drives that are going on. So, I mean, if you want to participate, get with me, the problem solver. I could be reached 24/7. You can text me. You can call me. You can go to the Progressive Web app. 702-400-7474. Again, 702-400-7474. Theproblemsolver.vegas. You can go online. Tons of information, tons of resource. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff out there. So anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us, and be safe.